Hey, all you mamas and papas, I'm Alex.
I'm David.
Now we want to talk about what your 3-year-old should be doing in this phase in their development. For their social emotional development, you're going to start to notice that your 3-year-old will copy and imitate pretty much everything that they see. Jumping, being silly, all these kind of imitations, they're going to copy it. Your 3-year-old is going to start showing a whole lot more affection without any prompts. They're going to walk up on you, give you a hug, give you a kiss, tell you that they love you for no reason, which is pretty awesome. With that, they'll also start to show concerns when someone's crying. So if one of their friends is upset, not really feeling well, they're going to start showing concerns as to what's going on. Just like that. Turn taking becomes part of life for them. They're going to understand that when they take a turn, they have to wait until their next opportunity to take a turn. So playing games, back and forth play, it's going to become a lot more, fluid.
Now that does take a little bit of time to achieve. Remember, overnight it just doesn't happen. You're going to have the trials. You're going to have the engagement for back and forth play and sharing. Your child just doesn't wake up in a mood of let's share. You have to give them opportunities and those learning opportunities of what sharing is through that back and forth play.
Getting dressed and undressed pretty much on their own now at 3 years old. You may start to go in and adjust, but they're going to be getting their own little swag now.
For language and communication for your 3-year-old, they might follow simple instructions that are 2 to 3 steps, can name most familiar items or things that are around them, uses words like in or under or on, and carries a conversation with 2 to 3 sentences.
A lot of this for language, it's going to be work in progress still. I mean, just because you give your 3-year-old a 2-step, 3-step instruction doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to follow it. But hey, hopefully you get lucky. If you tell them, pick your shoes up, put it in your room, and then go sit nicely, maybe they will, if they want it.
Another big thing for you parents, if they can say their name and age. How old are you? Sometimes they'll hold up, the appropriate age in their fingers. Or they might even verbalize by saying 3. Or the most common thing is they say 2 when they're actually going to be 3. Because we've worked on so much of that in the home with you guys, or you guys have worked in the home with your child, on how old are you? 2. One of the great recommendations that I tell my parents is if they're like 2.5, start working on 3. Because when they turn 3, that's when they're going to verbalize, how old are you? 3. I did it myself. You're going to say 3.
It happens.
So that's something you can look forward to for language and communication when your child's 3 years old.
For your 3-year-old's cognitive ability, you're going to start to see and notice that their play skills are really enhanced. They're going to be able to interact with their toys in a more advanced way. So more complex things that they're playing with, not just regular dolls, toys, cars, things with some moving parts.
You might see them combined a lot of different toys that necessarily don't go together, which is perfectly fine.
And that leads into that make-believe play. Maybe they are pretending that they are reenacting something that they saw on TV, using multiple toys from different types of genres. See them do more complex playing, like, oh, this is the mommy, this is the daddy, or even tea parties. For their drawing, you're going to notice that they're able to make circular motions and or copy an actual circle. It's great to get those printouts of little dots of like ABCs and letting them try to trace those and track those. And then eventually they're going to start making those letters on their own more clearly. At 3 years old, they're going to be able to open up doors with handles or knobs. You'll also start to notice that they're able to open up the lids to their favorite foods or snacks, both opening and closing. So screwing and unscrewing those lids so that way they can gain access to their favorite treats or food.
Now for movement and physical development for your 3-year-old. You might see them climb and maneuver different items around the living room or the playground. So basically, they're going to be able to climb well. You're going to see that they're going to terrify us because they don't know that they could fall and bump their head and hurt themselves when they're climbing and having a good time. But this is where we see a lot of parents get a little bit more, have a little bit more anxiety because our 3-year-old is climbing very well.
Because they can, they will. And if they will, you got to watch them more.
That's right. One of the funniest things I've seen on Facebook and social media is the first 3 years of life is saving your baby's life because of them exploring items they don't know that can really hurt themselves or put them in danger. That's one of the memes that I always like, a catch-22 that I always think is like, it's true. Our babies don't know that if they fall a little bit too hard, that it can be very dangerous for them.
Because when we're born, we're not programmed with these fears and phobias. Those are things that are developed over time. And now, 3 years have passed, they develop some fears, but at the same time, they still feel like they're invincible. So just pay attention a little bit more.
On that note, you might be able to see your 3-year-old run pretty easily now. And I always laugh when I see, toddlers run away. What's in your mouth? They bolt away.
They turn into little Speedy Gonzales.
You're like, where'd you get that running from? Not from your daddy. It's one of the things that's very common that they run away, and they run very easily because they have something in their mouth or they have something in their hands they're not supposed to.
And they're used to getting things taken away. So at this point, they don't want things taken away anymore. So when they start to run, they're going to get moving.
Most common thing that I've seen is they'll grab parent's cell phone and the parent will ask for it and they will take off.
Mm-hmm.
And then unfortunately they know how to open up and put it on YouTube in their kids' channel and Baby Shark comes on.
Baby Shark.
So another thing at 3 years old, in gross motor and movement and physical development, you will see them use a pedal bike, mostly a tricycle. We know them also as big wheels. They're able to coordinate the motion of moving forward using their feet on their tricycle. The last one would be walk up and down stairs with 1 foot on each step.
It's going to look more like an adult fashion, how we go upstairs, as opposed to going 1 step and putting 2 feet, 1 step, putting 2 feet, 1 step and putting 2 feet. You're going to start to see them be more coordinated in doing so, both up and down the stairs.
Now, if you don't have stairs, if you don't have a 2-story home, you could use the parks, but right now there's no parks open for that. So, I know a lot of families have those taller slides that have a few steps. I know some different play equipment that you can buy for your home will have steps. Just try to modernize as much as you can and help them access that type of ability for movement and physical development.
That's right. Thank you everyone for watching, liking, and sharing. Please do your best to share this information. We know that some parents out there feel that they already know it all, but there is a lot of parents who may need to hear the information. It's free information. It's out there. It's on YouTube. It's in social media. Share it. Thank you.